We are bringing you this report from the constituency of Ranaghat Uttar Purbo, and behind me is a poster of Shova Majumdar, the 85-year-old mother of a BJP worker who recently lost her life. Now, many believe that Shova Majumdar's death was the turning point of the campaign. In Ranaghat Uttar Purbo, this imagery is very, very striking. Why is it striking? Because we'll also have to show you what's on the other side.
Absolutely, Sagarika. Before showing what's on the other side, I think what we need to speak about is the wording on the imagery of Shova Majumdar. For people who know, Shova Majumdar was, according to me, the death of Shova Majumdar was also a turning point in the BJP's campaign, where the Prime Minister after that repeatedly raised about women's safety. So it's written that kya BJP samartak hone ka ye dosh hai, which means that the price that somebody pays in Bengal to be a BJP supporter. So that is what has been written on that poster. And on this side, if you can come along here, you can see there is a bunch of TMC flag. I will not call it a flag tree, but it's a mini flag tree resembling a mini flag tree. So right opposite the roadside, you have two different imageries.
You have the flags of the Trinamool Congress. If you can actually show it once again, you have the flags of the Trinamool Congress and the poster of the sitting MLA and the Trinamool Congress candidate from Ranaghat Uttar Purbo, which is in Nadia. Samir Kumar Poddar is the sitting MLA from here. In the previous election, he won with a margin of over 14,000 votes. But this time, why is it believed that the BJP is giving him such a tough fight?
Absolutely,
and yes,
Sagarika, if you see this poster behind, I want to show this poster because this poster resembles exactly what we've been saying, that it's a symbol election. Right here, if you can see that there is a Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cutout and picture is the biggest, and the symbol is something which is there in the middle. If you can see the symbol here, that's the symbol here. So Padma Phool and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that is what the BJP
and the candidate, the candidate of the Bharatiya Janata Party. If you see the the proportion of his picture or his face is comparatively smaller, and his name is Ashim Biswas, and he is this time giving the Trinamool a very, very tough fight.
Sagarika, this is not a candidate election, and this can be seen from posters across in Bengal, and this is what at least I can conclude in my analysis. The another point which we need to speak about is the ISF. The ISF has fielded a Hindu candidate here, and the Hindu candidate is being fielded by the ISF. So whether that will have an impact, if that have an impact, it will basically, whatever votes the ISF will cut, if it cuts the Muslim vote, it will be advantageous to the BJP. If it cuts the Hindu vote, it will be advantageous to the Trinamool Congress. So we are here coming, Sagarika, where we can, I want to show the ISF here. Right here is the ISF candidate, if you can see. That's
now this is the poster. This is the poster of the ISF, and the ISF, like Pradeep mentioned, has fielded a Hindu candidate. That is something that they've done in most of the seats in Bengal. Dinesh Biswas is the candidate from Ranaghat Uttar Purbo of the ISF, and this is the ISF flag. This is the ISF flag here with the envelope in green and ISF written here. So this is the imagery, and this is the imagery in Ranaghat Uttar Purbo. Now, when you speak to people here, they tell you that there are about 20% Muslims in this in this constituency in Nadia district. Now, the BJP in 2019 had a very, very strong lead from this very segment. So what does it mean for the BJP?
Sagarika, the lead was roughly around 40,000 votes, and there are 280 booths. And the BJP, to win this, it needs not win all the booths or even majority of the booth. It needs to get more votes in totality out of 280 booths. So this is a very important constituency because this falls in Nadia. Now, in 2019 projection of Nadia in the district, major seats have not gone towards the BJP side. So if the BJP is gaining in Nadia, it represents a swing. So I would say that if Mednipur and Birbhum are two swing districts, which if swing towards the BJP, can represent a larger tide in the state. But this will also be a mini swing district because whatever dent the BJP will have in Nadia, it will be advantageous to the BJP because Nadia in the past has been a Trinamool Congress bastion.
And some independents have also been fielded from this from this very seat. Are they going to be a factor? How big a factor is the ISF? We are walking booth to booth.
One more. I think the BSP has also fielded a candidate here. This is for the first time I have come across a BSP candidate, which you also mentioned.
But there's not much when it comes to in terms of campaigning. There's not much. The three candidates that people are talking about in this very constituency, in fact, two, which they say is a fight between the BJP and the TMC, and this is what we've seen. Few posters of the ISF here and there.
In this constituency, the women vote will be very crucial, because what I have seen, that whatever booths we've spoken to, we've seen women in large numbers coming out to vote, and women not just in large numbers but with a lot of resolve have come out to vote. So that has to be followed, and that has to be tracked in order to decide which way this constituency will go. Sagarika.
Yeah, you know, the election imagery for me is very, very striking in this para of
an imagery expert
in this para. So we spoke about flag trees. Now I think there's a literal flag tree right behind us. From the branches of the tree behind us. I don't know if we can show it. From the branches of that tree, we can see one flag after the other of the Trinamool Congress put. So this is the kind of work that the workers here of a particular party are doing.
I think flag is something which was very. I had come across a lot of flag-based politics in Tripura, and now we're seeing that at a very large scale in Bengal. Right here, you have the ISF flag, the BJP flag, and the TMC flag.
And ISF graffiti on this wall.
This is the first time I say that. And ISF graffiti I'm seeing also in the constituency.
ISF graffiti and also flags of their alliance partner, which is the left.
Get votes or not, that is a separate question altogether.
Yes. So this is what we've seen in this constituency.
Do you agree on one point which I want to ask, that a lot of COVID, I want to talk on the COVID front. See, the imagery and the video which we saw in the booth here, how a specially abled man on his wheelchair, not on his wheelchair, on his
his walker.
With the mask had the resolve of coming out to vote. So the cabal is not understanding that what vote means to people in Bengal.
In fact, at booths, you're seeing the kind of efforts being put in by polling personnel to ensure that all COVID protocols are followed. So I think the sentiment you get when you talk to the voters and when you actually see them coming to the booth, braving all kind of odds, is that we will not let the virus infect our voting rights. So that is a sentiment that I get when I see the kind of images that we see when somebody walks in using a walker, when somebody even when somebody is on a wheelchair, is also coming to a booth.
On that polling booth, you had 80% of voting which had happened. So this is a very important thing which I want to mention. So the statistics are telling us that voters are coming out to vote because chhappa voting is not taking place.
Right. And morning voters are very, very important. So people here usually tell you that, right now if you go to booths, it's a little over, it's going to be 5 o'clock. And if you go to the booths, you will actually see fewer voters than you'd see in the morning. So morning is when a voter actually gets up. For him, this is like an event. So he'll get up, get ready, go to the booth, cast his vote.
It's also, Sagarika, sorry to interrupt you there, but because there is a culture of political violence here which has been normalized, so people believe that coming out to vote in the early mornings will save them from political violence from either party. So I think that's also a very important point.
Very important, because because we also went to the BJP office here. In fact, the candidate's residence, Ashim Biswas' residence, and the workers present there at the booth told us that only last night at post 11 o'clock there was an attack at the residence. Chairs were broken. The posters and the insignia put there were all torn apart. So, this is what people have been telling us here. And as you see, flag trees, flags, wall graffitis. This is how the constituency of Ranaghat Uttar Purbo looks like on voting day.
Keep following Jan Ki Baat, because Nadia is very, very important. If Nadia, a mini swing district is what I'm calling it. That's a new term which we've coined. Keep following Jan Ki Baat. Thank you so much.